crocodile goes under, that's when they're in that hunting and stalk mode. And crocodiles, they are able to strike from the water horizontally, but they're also capable of striking vertically up out of the water. Now, this is a technique that is often used in young crocodiles because a little crocodile fresh out of the egg, they are not quite the apex predator yet, and they're probably hunting on little frogs, insects, small animals, but they're at risk of being eaten by other animals as well. So they'll hang out in the reeds and the mangroves, and they'll pretend to be a little stick with just their head sticking up, and they can keep an eye on any food, any animals that come out over the water's edge. Just like that. Now, even Monty is a fully grown croc, he's still got the power in that tail to be able to launch himself right up and out of the water. Now, as crocodiles get bigger, so does their food source. So they'll move on to hanging out underneath flying fox colonies, birds hanging out over the water, pretty much anything hanging out on a tree that is overhanging the water. Now, I'll give him one go, see if he wants to come up for another one. Oh, mate. Hey, Ty, I dropped that. Do you mind getting it for me?
No, mate, I can't swim.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Hard to get good help around here. But please let that be a lesson to you. Oh, he's ready, he's keen. Now, if you are up in Northern Australia, please be wary of that tail-walking crocodile.
That's right. Now, Monty knows that that's a very good spot to get an easy feed. But he can't help it. As soon as I get back in his water, once again, as I said, the most territorial, he comes straight over. Now, we're going to try and put to bed one of the biggest myths about these guys. If he doesn't want to come anywhere near me, he's just beeline it straight across there. So we'll reset him up over here. Come Monty. And that biggest myth is the fact that these guys are fast on land. And we've already shown that to you on that first strike when Hamish fed him. Hamish is walking backwards faster than what Monty could come forwards. Now these guys are also built that initial big strike out of the water, grabbing a prey item and dragging it back into the water. So we'll just see how we go here. And wait for him to get set up. That's the strike range there. Give it up for him, guys.
Nice catch, Monty. Now, it's really not hard to see. I mean, Ty could literally walk backwards faster than Monty could come forward. You can see Monty walking away there, and it's not real hard to tell why they're not designed for life up here on land. Now, he's got that huge, big, round belly, short little stumpy legs. He can barely lift himself up off the ground. Not to mention that he's got that huge tail that hangs out behind him like a giant handbrake. I mean, he is just not built like a greyhound or anything like that. He's built like a torpedo. I mean, I'm so confident that as long as we have a little bit of distance between us, there is absolutely no way you're going to have a problem with the croc up on the ground. Now, I'm willing to put Ty's life on my mouth here. Ty, can you come over here for a second again?
Yeah.
I've never stitched you up before. You can trust me.
Yeah.
Can you just sit down in front of Monty?
No.
Sit down.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine.
No,
Trust me. Maybe lie down.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, come on.
Maybe just for a second. All right, that's enough.
Thanks, mate. That's proved my point. Absolutely.
You can keep that one.
I'll keep that one. Now, he's making absolutely no attempt whatsoever. And crocs are smart. They're an intelligent animal. He knows that up here on land, we can move around, we can walk in circles around him all day long. He's got no chance of catching us. But all those attributes that don't help him up here on land make him an incredible apex predator in the water. You saw how fast he could swim. These guys can actually cruise at the same speed as a dolphin, about 28 kilometers an hour. That huge tail can propel them through the water. Now those little legs, they're just long enough to sink down into the sand of the riverbed, and that enables them to hold themselves steady for the strike, while that tail enables them to strike and launch out of the water. But those little legs are just also small enough to tuck in beside him when he's swimming, and that means that he becomes streamlined. Now, all those lumps and bumps you can see down his neck and over his back, those create currents and countercurrents, which means that when he's swimming, he doesn't make a ripple. He doesn't even disturb the surface at all. On top of that, he can hold his breath for over 7 hours. We have recorded some of our crocs up in Northern Australia holding their breath for up to 10 hours. So if you go out to the river and you have a look and you don't see any crocs, it doesn't mean there isn't one there. Now, what that actually tells me is that this is one of the easiest predators that you could possibly live alongside. Now, it's not like a bear or a lion or a tiger that's going to chase you down and climb trees after you. All you've got to do to stay safe from crocodiles is just not break the rules that we've broken. Now, number one, don't go down towards the water's edge. If you're down here, you're within the strike range of the croc, but if you just take a couple of steps back, maybe 4 to 5 meters back here, you're out of the strike range of any crocodile, even the largest crocodile to ever exist. Now, we also saw don't overhang the water. People have been taken by tail-walking crocs in the past. And finally, just don't go swimming with saltwater crocodiles. And that sounds pretty silly, but what happens is that people, they're going up to North Australia, it's hot, they might be keen for a fish or a swim, they go down to the water thinking it's safe, and they're essentially sending out a signal to every croc in the river that there's an easy bite to eat. Now, unfortunately, what happens when we do this is that when we do have an altercation with a croc, which is extremely rare, maybe one a year, we label them as these evil, ugly monsters that were out to get us, but that's not true at all. All we did was we encroached on their home. Now, as long as we do this, as long as we don't follow these rules, as long as we keep ourselves safe, by extension we can keep crocodiles safe by ending that crocodile conflict. Now, unfortunately, these guys, they were culled down to about 5% of their natural population, and what we're seeing now is a population in recovery. It's coming back. The people often say that the crocodile population is exploding, they're getting overpopulated. Absolutely not true. Now, that is a complete myth, and what we need is these guys to continue keeping our northern waterways healthy. Now, we obviously don't expect you to go away loving crocs quite as much as we do. Ty and myself are a little bit fanatical about them, but what we do hope is that you can go away with just a little greater respect and understanding for how important these animals are, just how easy they are to live alongside. And Steve up there on the big screen, he loved crocodiles with everything he had, and what he did was he passed on that passion and enthusiasm to everyone who works here at the zoo, and probably to a whole heap of you as well. So on that note, thank you for coming to the zoo today, helping us keep Steve's dream and this beautiful planet alive. Thanks guys, have a great afternoon and a safe trip home.